Mr. Mulcair's plan is to actually do what we know politicians of all parties, including my own, have done in the past, which is to say we're going to balance the books, and then, oops, the numbers are worse than we thought. We're going to have to break our promises. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm being honest with Canadians. We're going to run 3 deficits, and we're going to invest in the future Canadians need right now.
So in this economic climate, how committed to a balanced budget would you be right now?
The commitment needs to be a commitment to grow the economy, and the
budget will balance itself.
Sunny ways, my friends, sunny ways.
You're going to take a free holiday from someone you consider a friend, but obviously you have a different definition of a friend than the commissioner. You knew that they had a lobbying registry, that they were set up to lobby the government. How could it not have occurred to you that that might not have been okay?
The fact is, just trying to reorder the thoughts. The conflict of interest commissioner of a family vacation with a personal friend.
It wasn't considered that there would be an issue there. Huh?
An intergovernmental task force is working to prepare for a surge of asylum seekers pouring into Canada. Illegal crossings from the United States have risen rapidly through much of this year, and now that 60,000 Haitians have had their protected status revoked by the Trump administration, some believe many more may head north. Over the last 9 months, more than 14,000 people made refugee claims after crossing the border illegally.
Canada has just revised its national anthem, O Canada, to make it gender neutral. A bill passed the country's Senate that would change one of the lines from "in all thy sons" to "in all of us." Prime Minister Justin Trudeau called the move another positive step towards gender equality.
If you look at the Criminal Code of Canada, it says, everyone who willfully publishes a statement, tale, or news that he knows is false and that causes or is likely to cause injury or mischief to the public interest is guilty of an indictable offense and liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years. That was repealed by Trudeau.
Effectively making it absolutely illegal to misinform the public.
Cherry's message about Canadian immigrants over the weekend has him out of a job today.
You people love you that come here, whatever it is, you love our way of life, you love our milk and honey. At least you could pay a couple of bucks for poppies or something like that.
We just received these documents that Trudeau has been covering up for years. Documents related to a massive security breach at the Trudeau government's most sensitive laboratory, where the most dangerous viruses and pathogens are studied and handled. A People's Liberation Army official was able to gain personal access, walk in the door, and have access to all of our most important virological secrets. Winnipeg Lab scientist Dr. Chu is head of the Special Pathogens Unit.
Oh, if it isn't the bitch in the red dress.
Dr. Chu communicated with foreign entities during her trips to China, conducted joint research with the Major General Chen Wei of the People's Liberation Army, who is a noted top virologist engaged in research related to biosafety, biodefense, and bioterrorism. Trudeau, what did he do when he found out about this? He covered it all up. He defied 4 parliamentary orders to release these documents. When the Speaker tried to get them, he sued the Speaker to cover this up. Objection! There was no national security reason why we couldn't have had this before. It was only because Trudeau didn't want the embarrassment before an election. So what did he do then? Knowing this, he collaborated with Beijing to buy a vaccine for COVID. Could you imagine if the deal that Trudeau wanted to sign with Beijing had gone ahead and we had procured China-made vaccines after learning this information? That's what was in this guy's head.
Zoom
us back to work with a clear mandate to get Canada through this pandemic and to the brighter days ahead. And my friends, that's exactly what we are ready to do.
This guy stinks!
There are still votes to be counted, but what we've seen tonight is that millions of Canadians have chosen a progressive plan.
Right.
As Canadians, you've elected parliamentarians to deliver on all this, and our team, our government, is ready.
No, you ain't! I mean, you think about the political risks of freezing accounts. This is a very tricky area that we've waded into, but obviously the government feeling they had to take some action. What can you tell us about what we've been learning over the last couple of days? The main action that's happened recently is that the crackdown has really begun in earnest now. As you mentioned, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police has shared a list of names with the banks of people who've been involved in the protests. These are people whose accounts the law enforcement wants frozen, somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 names of people that the government wants to freeze their accounts to try to get them out of these protests. We know that earlier today the banks were talking with the law enforcement about exactly how to go about this, what kind of freeze on the accounts, which accounts to freeze. But not long ago, Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland at a press conference said that some accounts actually have already been frozen. She wouldn't provide numbers or the value in the accounts that was frozen, but she says that they have been frozen. There'll be more information coming forward on that. On Monday, Canada invoked the Emergencies Act to restore public order. Financial service providers have already taken action based on that information. My cabinet colleagues and I are meeting regularly, including with the Commissioner of the RCMP, to discuss next steps. Our absolute priority is ending these illegal blockades and occupation.
It gives me no pleasure to impose any of these measures.
Are you sure about that?
So you're confirming that accounts have been frozen, both personal and corporate?
Accounts have been frozen, and more accounts will be frozen. But do not doubt our determination to act to defend our democracy.
There's now more than 100 candidates, the most in Canadian history, who are running against him in his by-election. This is a blatant attack on democracy.
To defend our economy.
Canada's living standards growth is even worse than Britain's.
And to restore peace, order, and good government.
I'm only going to look at the Peel region, and I'm only going to pick break and enters. In under 2 months, you have 368 break-ins. That's an average of more than 6 a day. And once you remove that filter, 7,753 break-ins.
So let me repeat what I said on Monday.
The consequences are real, and they will bite.
It is time for you to go home.
Anyways, almost 6 months to the day after Canadians denied Trudeau a majority, the Liberals have reached an agreement with the NDP that could avoid another election until at least 2025.
If they fall short on what we've agreed to, then the deal doesn't continue.
Today, I notified the Prime Minister that I've ripped up the supply and confidence agreement. Justin Trudeau and a Liberal government that are
focused on themselves.
Stop the cap.
Jagmeet Singh is the most expensive member of Parliament.
I like money.
Because of that, I'm saying very clearly that Justin Trudeau has to resign.
This way, he gets to keep his pension and get rid of his rival Trudeau. That's the only reason he's asking him to resign. Otherwise, if he really wanted him gone, he would have just called for an election.
And Singh could indeed have lost his pension if he dissolved the Trudeau government early. You have to be an MP for 6 years to qualify, and he was elected only in 2019, and to a seat that he will possibly lose in the next election. With Trudeau's decision to prorogue Parliament until March, Canada is getting a few more months of an unpopular government it didn't want anymore, but Singh is getting his pension. He will be collecting more than $100,000 a year in taxpayer money once he retires.
On January 20th, as one of my many first executive orders, I will sign all necessary documents to charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all products coming into the United States and its ridiculous open borders.
U.S. President-elect Donald Trump is doubling down on his jokes about Canada becoming the 51st state, calling Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, quote, governor of the great state of Canada.
I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process.
A few months ago, I put my hand up to try to be your prime minister because I felt we needed big changes in this country with the goal of building Canada strong.
Will there always be a Canada? There will always be a Canada. All right, elbows up. Elbows up.
We can't change President Trump, so we need a leader that can stand up to him. My question to Canadians is simple. Is Pierre Poilievre the person you want sitting across the table from Donald Trump negotiating for us?
One, I only care about Canada. I want to put our country first. Two, America is responsible for over 60% of our trade. We trade more with the U.S. than we do with the rest of the world combined. I will do what is necessary to preserve and protect that relationship above all others.
Many times our focus is on domestic, cutting the taxes, building the homes, fixing the budget, stopping the crime. Sometimes it's international. But we know that over the last several months since October 7th, it has been necessary for us to turn our attention to the defense of our shared values, of our eternal values.
It means aid for Ukraine. Mr. Poilievre wants to cut foreign aid, including for Ukraine, or not. He didn't mention support for aid for Ukraine. We have to stand by them. We have to be there in this government.
I voted for the Liberals. I chose to do that because it is a scary time with what's happening across the border in the United States, and I feel that Mark Carney is a serious choice.
Well, I'm not sure what one does with a madman. You know, even individual Canadians are doing what they can by shopping non-American.
Who I voted for would be the best to take care of Trump, because Trump is, I'm sorry to say, and
Hey, relax, guy!
Your new argument today is that Canadians should accept basically the best of a bad deal.
I reject the premise of that question. We have the best deal with the United States right now. Okay? We have the best deal.
Last time you spoke to Trump, sir?
Who cares?
Who cares?
In the table here, it's 41.7, increasing to 43.7. Again, how alarming is that for the average Canadian?
I'll hazard a response. It should be very alarming. This is not. It's not a funny fiscal outlook. It's a really serious fiscal outlook. And we don't lightly use the word unsustainable. It means if you don't change, this is done.